Hey creators, welcome back to Creator Best Life for a brand new video. I'm Kimani and today we're talking about finding new ideas for your next story. I get it. Sometimes we get in a creative rut. We sometimes have what they call writer's block, which really does not exist. You are just not fulfilled or inspired. These are ways that I can help you get more inspired because they work for me. So if you like writing tips and tricks, hit the like button, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you're alerted every single time I post a brand new video. Hit the subscribe button so you let me know that you are having a good time here and I'm doing a great job, and just keep watching. Okay, tip number 1 is repurposing. And when I say repurposing, I literally mean taking a character that you have already been developing or a story or plot idea that you've been developing and it's not really working out for you, taking that character, story, idea, theme, whatever it might be, and switching it over to this new story. So further developing it in a different way. So if it's a character that you would like to reuse in a new story, I would suggest, changing the genre, switching out some of their character traits, creating a new protagonist or a new antagonist for them. And I think that that'll give you a nice fresh start and a new set of eyes to look at this creatively. It's a fun way to make something new entirely. Tip number 2 is flipping the protagonist. I've been seeing this idea a few times over the last year or so, and I think that it is such a great way to come up with a new story idea. So when I say flipping the protagonist, what I'm saying is if you have a superhero and a supervillain, the supervillain does not have their own story. So what you can do is use the supervillain and make them your protagonist, and the superhero is their antagonist. So that's them thwarting their plans. And one way to think about this is the anti-hero style of character that has been going on for the past decade, I should say. And it's been really big and fun. And I know a lot of people don't like it because they just want their villains to be just plain evil and not sympathize with them. But I saw a post on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever. But basically what it was saying was that people don't like seeing anti-villain stories because it really shows them that everyone is one decision away from being the villain, one decision away from being that person, and everyone's circumstances and the life that they were born into is totally different, and sometimes that affects your amount of choices and it affects the quality of your choices as well. So we have to keep that in mind. But also I think that this is a fun way to get creative with your story. It creates a whole new twist on an original story. And I'll link the YouTube video that I saw that was talking about flipping the protagonist because they used Megamind as a great example for this. And I think that it will be super helpful to watch that video because the way that it was done so well was how they made you really empathize with Megamind. He was our hero, quote unquote. We weren't supposed to like Metro Man and we only were supposed to be rooting for Megamind. And yeah, overall, great idea. Love it. I've even done it with a couple of my own projects. So I hope that it is fun for you guys as well. Tip number 3 is using writing prompts. Now, a lot of people feel like writing prompts can get a little stale and a little boring. And some of them do because they're reused a lot. And I mean, I've got something fun for y'all. I've got some writing prompts of my own that I would love to share. I've shared a few with you in some of my Write With Me videos, but just stay tuned. I've got something great when it comes to some writing tips coming for you guys, and it's going to be an actual product. And I'm not going to gouge y'all, but I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that it is super beneficial because it is for people that write and want to create and just be more creative overall. So when it comes to utilizing writing prompts, I think that they are such a great tool because it gets the creative juices flowing. You get all these ideas and it's just great to be introspective in general. So I think that those would be super helpful for you. I can share some of my links that I like to use for writing prompts below, but also keep a lookout for the ones that I will be sharing very, very soon. Tip number 4, use a fire playlist. I don't know about you, but I love music, whether that is music with words, music with just a melody, a beat, it doesn't matter. Music will always be the soundtrack of my life. So if you love to create and have some tunes on in the background, make sure that you have created and curated this really fun, dope playlist that gets you in the zone. Now, a tip for myself, because I'm a writer, is if I know that I'm going to be writing a thriller, I will pull up a thriller soundtrack, or like psychological horror, psychological thriller or something. Y'all know I have shared, I listen to the Inception playlist a lot if I'm writing thrillers, which I do a lot now. And horror, I'll pull up the Get Out one, or I'll pull out some of the ones from the Flaniverse, like The Haunting of Hill House or The Haunting of Bly Manor. Those are super helpful. But if you want something light, like if you want to do a Christmas type of story, like the light kind, not the horror kind that I like to write, you know, you could pull up The Holiday or This Christmas or any holiday soundtrack. Or you could just listen to plain old Christmas music. Now, what works for me is having a soundtrack because it does not have any words and it's not distracting, if that makes sense. So hopefully that is super helpful for you. Comment below which soundtracks you like listening to while you are writing or creating. And lastly, tip number 5 is follow current events. Now, this can be entertainment or it could be news. So if you're on The Shade Room or if you're on MSNBC, whatever, what have you, you're on Deadline, Variety, it could be anything, but just keeping up with what's going on in society, what's going on here in the States. You could be in other countries. It doesn't matter. Just keep up with current events wherever you are and overseas, if you would like. That's going to help fuel some of the social stances that you take. That's going to help fuel how you empathize with people, and that helps you be able to write characters that people can empathize with. And it also will give you an interesting take on a story that you could write or a topic that you've never explored before. I know there are wars going on, and we're always going to have likely wars, and we always are going to have war movies because folks can't get enough of all of the wars. I don't get it, but other people thoroughly enjoy it. And regardless, a good chunk of them have a great story. I still watch them. They're not my favorite, but they all have their place. And I'd also like to clear up that when I say looking at like The Shade Room or what's going on in celebrities' lives or whatever, I'm not saying take someone's life without their permission and write a story about them. I'm not telling you to do that at all. In fact, I'm discouraging you from doing that entirely. However, you can take bits and pieces from people's lives that you have met or you see or you imagine, or you can also, like I said, take different things that are going on in today's society that can help fuel and make this story really magical and interesting. This will help make your story a lot more compelling, and it'll also help you figure out what ways your story can help people, because I also think that a lot of artists really focus on the humanity in their art and how their work can reach other people. And it's super important because it shapes a lot of lives. I mean, we all do things that affect other people. And I'm not just talking about our art. I'm talking about on a smaller scale. Like, let's just say you live with someone and you only made food for yourself. Now that person has no food to eat, at least no cooked food, you know? So everything is a chain reaction. Everything is interconnected. We're all interconnected. And I think that it's also important to make sure that our art is meaningful, helpful, and it doesn't have to be extraordinary, but you know, people should feel something from it, and hopefully it's something good, or it compels them to do something good from it. But yeah, I hope these tips were super helpful. I wanted to find and create some tips that weren't the typical, like, go out in nature, go for a walk, or, you know, go talk to people, which everyone, you know, has shared before. Obviously, go talk to people because you get to learn how different people talk and different voice inflections, body language, this and that, which is super helpful if you're writing a book because you have to include all of those. But if you're also, you know, doing scripts, obviously voice inflections are really helpful and important. And I hope that some of these resonate with you. I hope that you are able to include some of these when you are doing your writing and creating in your own time. I would really love it if you would comment below which tip is your favorite, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Just let me know. I would love to talk about it in the comments. But also, let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I love creating these and finding new ways to make my writing better and hopefully share it and make it so that you guys feel like you can make your writing or art, whatever you are creating, better, and just life overall. So let me know. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the share button and the notification bell.
And I can't wait to talk to you guys in a brand new video really soon. Bye, guys.
Stop it. What do you want to see?